What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from a special edition of Smackdown emanating from Spain, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the WrestleMania main event revealed, Drew McIntyre is furious, John Cena's bald spot is gone, WWE teases a massive debut and potentially a massive return, a major WWE signing leaked, the real reason for Jade Cargill's backstage heat, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. As always, we won't recap the show, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, US title warfare. A Smackdown from Spain kicked off with new US champion LA Knight being interrupted by Jimmy Uso. Jimmy hilariously referred to the US title as the US tag titles, but that didn't stop the segment from being entertaining. The crowd ate the segment up and it actually saw an involvement from the new Bloodline and Braun Strowman. Unfortunately, when Solo Sikoa came out, he made an unfortunate slip with his promo, or very near to. I mean, you could even see Jimmy's face, he knew what he was about to say. Now, this will likely be edited out of replays of the show. But a heated 6-man tag match would follow, with Strowman getting the win for his team. Now, it looks like WWE are planting the seeds for a multi-man US title showdown at WrestleMania, whereas Solo Sikoa vs Jacob Fatu is likely destined to be a 1v1 contest. Number 2, women's title feud amps up greatly. Now, fans have been extremely critical, as well as ourselves, of the lack of build towards Tiffany Stratton vs Charlotte Flair. Thankfully, WWE have finally listened. After Flair defeated B-Fab on SmackDown, WWE would deliver a pull-apart brawl between the two WrestleMania opponents. But this one was pretty good when it comes to pull-apart brawls. In fact, it didn't even stop when The Miz came out. They were continuing on, and Tiffany Stratton even leapt off the Titantron, feeling her inner Jeff Hardy and delivering a Swanton bomb onto Charlotte Flair and security below. Number 3, intense Cody Rhodes. Now, the advertised Miz TV segment with WWE champ Cody Rhodes was short and sweet, as Rhodes would lay out The Miz, and Rhodes would proceed to insist that Cena shows up to confront him on Raw. It was intense, it was passionate, and it was booked perfectly. Number 4, Phoenix incoming, and WWE would air their first vignette promoting the debut of Rey Fenix. Now, it looks like he's set for the SmackDown brand, which would naturally put him on the opposite brand to his real-life brother Penta. Number 5, ALISTAIR Black incoming. Now, Phoenix wasn't the only name teased on SmackDown, as WWE aired a mysterious vignette which appears to be for the returning ALISTAIR Black. Black is confirmed to be WWE bound and now looks set for the Blue brand. Number 6, Gunther vs Axiom. A world champion Gunther would make a rare appearance on the Blue brand, and he had a stellar match versus NXT's Axiom. Booking Gunther to wrestle on the road to WrestleMania has been a recipe for success, and hopefully WWE books Gunther in more television matches as we approach the grandest stage of them all. And the tag title main event. Now, the main event of the show saw the Street Profits finally recapture tag team gold. The match delivered in the main event slot, and now WWE are building towards a multi-team match which will likely be at WrestleMania 41. But that was a good what about the bad. This is number 1, Shinsuke Nakamura's presentation. Shinsuke Nakamura's presentation continues to baffle fans. Nakamura is still being used on television and his in-ring work continues to regress. Nakamura wrestled Damian Priest on the show, and whilst the action was fine, Nakamura was once again going through the motions. It's evident that the former US champion has lost his passion for WWE, which is a massive shame. Now, nothing on this week's show stood out as ugly. The show still had issues, predominantly with the extended runtime, but the rabid crowds over the next month should make a 3-hour SmackDown much easier to stomach. Seriously, is there anything better than international crowds right now? They're so up for everything. Well, to be fair, not in the case of DIY, as they didn't even get a pop at all. Not getting a pop from an international crowd is crazy work, man. What do you guys think of the Blue brand? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, first story looks at WrestleMania main event revealed. Now, our top story today takes a look at recent comments from Jey Uso, who has seemingly given away that he won't be main eventing WrestleMania 41. The 2025 Royal Rumble winner recently spoke with the Daily Mail, and Jey would claim that it doesn't matter if he's opening the match or WrestleMania 41, he just wants to deliver a memorable match. WrestleMania Night 1 or Night 2, whichever night I'm on, whichever match I'm on, I don't care if I'm on last. I don't care if I open it up. I never thought of it like that. I just know I'm going to go out there and they're going to remember either me or my match. So that's all I'm focused on. I just want to look ready for this. This is a once in a lifetime shot. That's how I'm looking at it. Because this might never ever come back around in my career. Jay's comments are interesting because it's uncommon for the Royal Rumble winner to speak in this way. Traditionally, the Rumble winner would main event WrestleMania, and even though WWE have moved away from that rule over the past 2 decades, it does seem strange that Jay is speaking about opening WrestleMania. This is especially the case when you take into consideration that this is the exact spot fans boldly predicted him to be in come April. Naturally, things could change between now and WrestleMania. However, based on the card so far, one would assume that Cody Rhodes vs John Cena main events night 2, whilst either the Women's World Title Showdown or the planned triple threat between Punk, Rollins and Roman Reigns main events night 1. Next up, Rikishi defends Jey Uso again. Now, it's common knowledge that WrestleMania hasn't been a hot ticketed item this year. This is predominantly due to WWE grossly overestimating how much fans can afford, and some recent poor episodes of TV certainly wouldn't have helped things. Some fans have blamed the 2 Royal Rumble winners for the poor ticket sales, and Rikishi has responded to this on his podcast, and he ordered fans to stop blaming main event Jey Uso. It ain't because it's my son, so let's make that clear, right? I don't read a lot of stuff that's out there, nor do I give a damn. The bottom line is, don't hate the player, hate the game. There are still 5 weeks left until WrestleMania, and ticket sales will no doubt gradually increase. Next up, Drew McIntyre furious. Fans continue to express disappointment with Drew McIntyre's WrestleMania direction. As things stand, McIntyre is set to face Damian Priest on the grandest stage, and now McIntyre has stated during an interview with Adam's Apple that he is fuming about the situation. Since I'm not in the world title match at WrestleMania, I know that in 2024, people were talking about me and CM Punk more than anyone, and I did 90% of that work. Good for Punk being Punk, but Drew McIntyre was doing the effing heavy lifting there. So yeah, I'm pissed off about not being in the world title match, but I'm gonna make something happen. Between now and WrestleMania, I'll make sure there's a big match, a compelling story people are invested in, and I'll make sure the match is because I'm Drew McIntyre. And McIntyre is evidently blurring the lines between kayfabe and reality here, but it will be interesting to see if this frustration leads to an angle on television. Next up, Backlash 2025 location revealed. Today, WWE officially announced the location for Backlash 2025. The annual premium event will take place on May 10th from St. Louis. WWE would announce the news via a press release saying, WWE today announced that Backlash will emanate from the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri on Saturday, May 10th. The event will feature St. Louis native Randy Orton in addition to WWE superstar John Cena, who will make his first Backlash appearance since 2009 as he continues his year-long farewell tour. Now, there were rumors that Backlash could be an international show, but WWE have decided on a US-based PLE for the event this year. Quite the shame, as it could have been really good in Spain. Next up, WWE making another major signing. Could WWE be about to sign yet another free agent? Fightful Select is reporting that WWE is interested in signing veteran wrestler Jeff Cobb. Cobb has been primarily wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he worked all over the world and even had a notable stint in Lucha Underground as the demented wrestler known as Mantanja Kuto. Next up, WWE Legend Returning. Could Devon Dudley be about to return to WWE in a backstage role? Devon was working as a producer and as an agent before his untimely release, but according to the man himself on his YouTube channel, it could only be a matter of time before WWE bring him back into the fold. So my reasonings for leaving the WWE as a producer wasn't totally my fault. In other words, I didn't really want to leave. I enjoyed myself, but unfortunately, I got a phone call that stated my position was no longer needed at that time where I was, and they were going to release me as a producer. I gotta say, I was visibly upset. I was bothered by it because I really like working with the talent working behind the scenes. I went from hating being a producer to actually loving it. I've always said I was probably going to come back and do more business with them, but again, you never know what could happen in the future, so I keep the door open as much as I possibly can. Now, the WWE Hall of Famer received widespread praise from talent for his work in the role, and it would be a sensible rehire if WWE decided they need an additional producer. Next up, a new Luchador's name revealed. Whilst the identity of WWE's new masked man is believed to be Chad Gable, we now know the name of the new persona. WWE have filed a trademark for the name Grande Americano, which is no doubt linked to Gable's new storyline. Either that or it's a Starbucks drink. Next up, John Cena's bold spot gone. John Cena is set to return to WWE programming on Monday, but for now he's still fulfilling commitments to his latest movie project. For his latest movie, Cena has decided to hide the infamous bald spot on his head with what appears to be hair fiber spray. Cena was seen filming for his latest movie in a slick leather jacket, and some fans are theorizing that Cena could be debuting a similar look when he returns to WWE in just a matter of days. And finally, the real reason for Jade Cargill's backstage heat. Our final story today takes a look at the latest when it comes to Jade Cargill's heat backstage in WWE. Cargill reportedly had issues with Shayna Baszler, and a new report from The Observer states that Cargill told Baszler that she needed to learn how to work. The heat on Jade Cargill was acclaimed by other women in WWE that when there were problems in the ring, she'd blame the other person and was disrespectful. A specific confrontation was Cargill pointing to a bruise on her arm and telling Shayna Baszler that she needed to learn how to work. And Baszler responded saying that if she was shooting, they would both know. Later, when Cargill blamed others for problems in matches, Baszler came up to her and confronted her, and the report continued by saying that the two almost came to blows. This was not a one-person deal, but Baszler did go to talk to her about it, which didn't make it better, and Cargill got in Baszler's face according to one person right there and said Baszler clearly wasn't going to back down. Other talent saw it and diffused it alongside management and got them away from each other. Baszler was called to work with the production people on the key spots that they were doing in a television match that night. Nothing else happened of significance after that. Now this is a crazy story, and with WWE blurring the lines of kayfabe, it wouldn't be a surprise to see this mentioned directly on television. But there you have it folks, our look at Smackdown as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.